Hi, this is Deacon John Wilson, Education Enrichment Director for West Angeles Church, with a message for 11th grade or class of 2027 parents. I want to talk to you. This is the first video about your upcoming college and career decisions for your student. And I want to be there for you with great videos, as I do for all grade levels. But this is for class of 2027. 2026, you're waiting for your decisions. I have some great videos coming up for you and some great meetings. I'll do a video about those next. But this is for 11th grade parents. Here's a quick state of affairs for you right now, where you stand right now. I usually feel like February 15th is where I think the season begins, because here's where you could begin to make decisions and not know you are that will affect the kind of school and the kind of life your student will have. Hopefully for the better, but sometimes you don't know. There's things you just don't know. And that's why I'm here to do that. We have a long history, over almost 30 years of helping students go away to college. Um, and we want to bring that to you and help you to make the right decision for your student in this college season. All right, let me give you a few tips. Stand by. I'll go over a few things very quickly that you should be thinking about right now, because there's a huge dilemma that you have. And this is a good lead up to our big meeting coming up for class of 2027. I'll cover that at the end of this video and tell you when that is. And you should be getting email on it as well very shortly. All right, but let's get into the things you should be concerned about right now. All right, here you go. Here, this is a little something I put together. This will be part of the meeting that we have upcoming that I'll tell you about at the end of this meeting. Remember, always look at the description block below. Anything I mention in this video, you'll find it there. These videos are short. Try to stay till the end. Leave us a comment. You can click like and subscribe. You want to continue to get videos like this and get quick information like this. All right, let's get into it. All right, first of all, here are the top college and career concerns for parents. For parents, class of 2027 parents, that is, 11th grade parents. And we're in February of the 11th grade year. Okay, let's continue. Remember that large student loans are a possibility like never before. This year, the government changed. Before, it was all parent loans. And I was concerned about it, but I'm super concerned now that young people will start out life owing $1,800, $2,000, $2,300 a month in loans because of a change in the way federal loans are being handled. There's a maximum of $20,000 in parent loans this year, and it goes on into the next year for 2027. So if you pick a school that's 60,000, like happens every year, usually about 15 to 20 of my school students do that. And in those cases, they get scholarships, but they still owe $40,000. So the government comes along and says the parents can take 20,000 in parent loan. The other 20 is borne by the student. Now, if that goes on every year, it could be at least 80,000 in additional loans to your direct loans, which are 22,000. You could have over 100,000 in student loans. And that would mean payments of 1,400 to 1,500 a month for the student. And that's got to make it a terrible return on investment. We'll say more about return on investment in your first meeting, but parents, you got to start thinking about this. That the only remedy for that will help you to lower these large student loans, such as that 20,000 I mentioned, is high SAT scores and high GPA. So your student has a high GPA, we'll talk about that in a minute, then they really need the SAT, and it becomes a top priority. We shouldn't let anything get in the way of that. That's super important for you. I know, kids are more busy that come to my program are busier than ever. I have students with 5 and 6 activities. More on that in a minute. But getting high SAT scores, it's a priority. The higher the 3-year GPA is above 3.6, unweighted, the more the following tasks are important for now, spring, and summer this year. All right, well, let's look at these tasks for sure. Hold on one second while I prepare the screen. All right. Let's look at these tasks. SAT prep plus the SAT. It's certainly a consideration, right? But that means really being into SAT prep, able to take most of the sessions. If you're going to miss most of the sessions, it's not going to help you. And a lot of you think, well, we'll just take it again in the senior year. Parents, students are way more nervous in October when they're taking the SAT. The high scores I see start in the spring of the 11th grade year, sometimes August, but usually it's spring. So a serious stab at SAT prep plus taking the SAT is something for now or spring for sure. You could wait till August, but that's a little long to wait. Remember, the longer you have to work on your scores, the better. And remember, high scores only help high GPA students in case they get in, because you could get in a lot of schools with that GPA, way things are now. Boy, I'm going to do a video on that. But the SAT scores is how you get money. Boy, that's important what I just said. Anyhow, let's move on. I don't want to make this video too long. Properly balanced application list. It takes work. I'm here to help you with that. I'd love to meet with you and your student with their unofficial transcript. Sit down and make a properly balanced application list with different types of schools and with affordable schools on the list. Make that appointment with me right away. I'll leave my email address below, and that's for anyone who's hearing this anywhere in the country. I'll be glad to meet with you on Zoom or in person at our Family Life Center. Application delivery plan from that list. Even now, even this early, a plan for delivering the applications really helps planning. It helps you get ready for the college season. These are all things that should be happening now, spring, and into the summer. You might say, well, I'll just do them in summer, but some of these you need to start thinking about now, like SAT prep, and even your application list. College essays. Yeah, the earlier you can start your college essays, the better, with someone who's skilled and has experience. We have a lot of experience reading essays. We really do. Would love to start. We're good at helping students to start their essay, setting a reasonable deadline, and pushing them to completion with your student. And you can put those away till the fall when you start delivering applications, college application essays. That's another one for now, spring and summer. Strategic college visits. Notice I said strategic. You might have visits to college schools that you would like to go to, and you might get a chance to go, but they depend on cost. Are you going to do, how much debt are you willing to take? But you got to have some schools that no matter what, you already have a high enough GPA to get money, and you can easily get your career started. If we ever have that meeting I just spoke of, which is a college planning session, I would love to, after we get the list done, to start thinking about the kinds of colleges you might want to visit and how you're going to visit them. But there's some time competition, parents. There's athletics. I don't know how you're going to get this stuff done if you have a student with a high GPA and there's athletics. Arts, that means performing arts usually. These are things that compete for the time of your student. If they're working, there's a time competition. College tours. This will be tours that may not be strategic. So you should think about every tour they take. It's taking time away from their grades for sure, but also from these things over to the left that have to be done. Family travel and activities. Of course, you got to do those things. Got to plan them in and still get the things done. Joint custody challenges. Some of you have, an ex that they'll be with. When they're with that ex, they can't work on applications because they're showing them, taking around to their families, or they have plans for your child, for your student. I find that to be a challenge in getting stuff done. Then social outings, your students need to have those. But you got to balance those against the things over to the left. Okay? I hope that helped. take a picture of the screen that I just showed you and talk those over with your youth. Parents, these are tremendous considerations to think about. They really are. All right, let's take a look at the next meeting we have coming up. Okay, parents, here's our website, and you can always find out what's going on our program. First of all, before I do that, over in the upper left corner, you click the third symbol over, it's the YouTube symbol, and it takes you to our YouTube channel, which is right here, which is where you got that video from. Great if you could like and subscribe to us. We're a growing community of subscribers. We hit 700 last week. Now we're at 711. Won't you join, and then you'll get the videos in your side panels and see what's going on in the program. Okay? But the reason we're here is to show you that, but also to show you that under latest and events, you can find our latest events right here. We have a study skills session coming up on the 17th, run by Princeton Review and tutor.com. It's fascinating. It will help students with their testing in school, as well as help them to think about other types of testing like AP tests, things like that they might be taking. Give them a little strategy. It's pretty good. It's about a 40-minute video. Hey, even if they're not going, they should, or can't go, or not sure, should register, because then they'll get a copy of the video sent to them after the event. It's really going to be an interesting session from our partner, Princeton Review. Here is the roadmap to college on the 22nd. It's on next Sunday. It's February 22nd, Sunday, 5:30 to 7 o'clock. If you view the event, you can see the things we're going to cover. SAT, to be or not to be. How should you spend your summer? 7 time destroyers for your students. FAFSA prep and much more. You can RSVP right here. That's where you RSVP. If you look in the description block below, I'll share the link with you to that page on the website. Actually, I'll share directly the Zoom registration for that meeting. It'll be a very informative session. I may have a surprise college there to do a brief presentation. An affordable college, one of our partners, will be in. We'll talk about it when we get closer, if I can get them to come in. All right, God bless you. I hope that helped. Remember, if you're listening still, why don't you click subscribe to subscribe to this video and like this video. Why don't you send me a comment and let me know what you thought about this. And remember, the description block below, you'll be able to link to pertinent information from this video. All right. God bless you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.